The number of visas issued to foreign students by the US fell sharply last year amid stricter immigration rules. According to reports, in the year ended September 2017, the State Department issued 393,000 student visas, fewer, that is 17% below the previous year. Now, the Trump administration has also announced it was stopping the processing of H-1 premium visas that will affect the Indian IT sector. But we spoke to Joseph Pomper, Minister for Consular Affairs at US Embassy, and Karl, the Deputy Cultural Affairs Officer, who rejected there had been any drop in student visas or any change in the larger Trump policy. You know, the French president was here recently and they made a huge pitch for, Indian students to study in France, and we've had similar, statements being made by the Australians, people from Germany. The numbers are increasing in other countries. Is that like a side effect, in a sense, to the numbers automatically falling? I mean, I'm talking about stats. Maybe those numbers change of students, reducing to the United States.
I reject the assertion that there's any sort of reduction. As Joe said, it's way too early to say anything. What we do know is last year there was 12% more, 21,000 more Indian students studying in the United States than the year before. Over the long term, we see that these numbers are just going to go up. The foundations are the same, and that's higher education in the United States remains a great value. It's the highest quality education.
Many people are asking, please do ask on the H-1B visa. So Joseph, I'm really sorry, but many people saying next step from F1 visa is the H-1B visa. What can we do for that?
Now, in terms of connections between the H-1B visa and the F visa, there is no connection. People should be going to the States on their F visas to get a wonderful education. That's what we guarantee. They'll get a top-notch education. They'll have a cadre of fellow alumni who will be all over the world as resources and contacts, and they'll become citizen ambassadors to the United States for life. Some folks who study in the United States can apply for and qualify for employment visas, one of which is the H-1B visa, but there's not a connection between them, and one doesn't necessarily lead to the other.
Joseph, there's a Wall Street Journal report which says that there are 78,000 fewer visas that were issued for the year 2017. So while we talk about visas, different kinds of visas, as you said, and most of the questions we're taking on F1, which are spilling into the H-1B, because I feel that most Indian students who go abroad to study, the next step for them is to then also work there. So is the administration and the embassy here working to actively change that perception, because the news reports suggest that there are fewer visas coming in? It could be various reasons. It couldn't just be a push for lesser Indians and Chinese coming in.
Well, I would like to start by saying that we adjudicated over 1.1 million visas across India last year. That was our highest number ever. So I'm not quite sure where these numbers are coming from. With students, we have 186,000 students in the States right now, which is the second highest after China. So we view both of these programs as actually big success stories. Having said that, we do take the long view. Visa, some years are busier than others. Visa trends are really not linear. They don't just go in one direction. Some years are busier than others, and we are looking at the long view in terms of getting as many qualified students to choose the United States as is possible, because we believe that we offer the best education in the world. Okay,
and this question's for you, Karl. The tuition fees actually ranges from anything, I mean, this could be different, from $3,000 US to $10,000 US for the same college or university, depending on your nationality. Now, but other reports saying the fundamental policy under the Trump administration hasn't really changed, but the perception is that there's been a drastic change in policy, on cutting down student visas, on cutting down H-1B visas, and spilling over to other policy changes. So is there something we can do to sort of change that? I mean, and is there an actual shift, or the numbers actually misleading here?
Let me be clear, there is no change in policy. There's always going to be talk, but there is no change in our policy. If you are an applicant, you qualify, you'll get a visa. Our universities are looking for all kinds of students, Indians, domestic, from everywhere. our institutions are in competition to get the best students. And we welcome that competition. We want the best. We encourage Indians to apply. There's all sorts of sensational news. There's all kinds of anecdotes. Headlines are not data, and the general facts show that that the United States remains the best place to get an education.